Hey, so I'm gonna make a couple more videos on Zenless, and then I'm basically gonna quit the game. Um, I will probably log on once a day to collect my battle pass, my $5 pass stuff, and then after that, I probably will uninstall it. Maybe I'll keep it on and basically just log on every day to collect rewards because at the end of the day, I think this, it's just depressing that this game's the way it is because it's an actually really good game underneath all the bullshit. It's an amazing framework, it's an amazing characters, amazing looking world, all that stuff. But at the end of the fucking day, MiHoYo didn't want to balance the game for people like me. They wanted to balance the game around drooling little kids that want to look at colors and press buttons. So, unfortunately, the game is just dog shit for me, and it doesn't seem like any of the actual gameplay's there. And MiHoYo couldn't be fucking bothered to balance their game for multiple player bases. They just wanted to balance it for one, and then pretend like they had challenge for the people like me. So, this game just came out, and to be honest, Snowbreak, when it came out, it was probably like a 4 out of 10, maybe a 5 out of 10, kind of a mid game, in my opinion. I think this game's like a 1 out of 10, and that's the lowest score I'll give it. Some people might even give it a negative score because of how much they hate this game, because of how bullshit this game is right now. But at the end of the day, maybe in 6 months, maybe in a year, who fucking knows? This game will be good. The developers, will have eventually put in the balancing stuff they need to fucking put in, and then the game will be good. So, until then, yeah, I'm basically just, it's maintenance mode. I'm not going to go through the story. I'd rather fucking kill myself. So, yeah, I'm just not going to fucking do that. So, I am going to show you in a second some pre-record footage, and I'll probably upload a couple more footage I already got. Um, and, old footage that I have of this game. I've been trying to find a way to play the story so that the gameplay itself isn't 2 minutes, it's actually some length and difficulty. And the only way I seem to be able to do that is basically playing the game like you would if you're a insanely hardcore Dark Souls player, where you basically just play the game with nothing, with the worst setup possible. Seems like the way you do that in this game to make it kind of challenging. So yeah, you're gonna see that in a second. And what happened is I try to playtest shit. I try to do that on my new account because I fucked up on this account and got Billy maxed out, so I can't play Billy anymore. He's my favorite character. So I'm trying to do that on the other account, and you'll see why I can't get through the story. You'll see why every fucking time I play this game, I want to throw my phone across the fucking room because of how mad this game makes me just to progress through a fucking baby story. There's no challenge in the game other than the fucking sanity check you have to go through every fucking 10 minutes. The mental fucking health check. You gotta fucking call the 911 hotline for suicide or whatever because you're fucking want to slit your wrists because of the fucking mundane bullshit you have to sift through in this game. So yeah, you're gonna see a little bit me trying to test the fucking game, and me just getting to the point where I can't fucking play the game. Like getting through the story is just a fucking nightmare. So yeah, you're about to see that. See you in a little bit. Yo, so here's the archive mode. I'm on my alt account, so I can play the mission through the archive mode, thankfully, because honestly, I was trying to catch up to where I was on my main account, on this account, which might become my main account. Um, and to be honest, it was too painful to get through because, man, they went out of their way to make feel like you're playing a fucking, like you're clocking in, going to work when you try and go through the story. And try, like, again, I'm only on chapter 2. Maybe I might like basically be. Oh, I think maybe I can just play Billy. Can I just? Oh, okay, good. So there are times when I guess it does let you just pick Billy. So cool, I don't have to let my characters die. So sometimes the game lets you just play the hard difficulty at the start, and other times you have to, unlock it in the mission. So that's nice. As you see, okay, cool, my Billy is upgraded. So my Billy is like a level 3, and he's got decent equipment. His equipment, I think I leveled up like twice. Like, so it's like a 2 out of 10 instead of, a 0 out of 10. So you can see, this might be a little bit too much damage and health. So I might have, put too much investment on him. But at the end of the day, I still have to dodge. Let's see, if this thing hits me, how much damage am I going to take? Probably actually gonna, yeah, see, look, I actually take a decent amount of damage. And I have to let him hit me one more time. Okay, see, so, like, I can actually take some damage now. Again, I think I leveled him up too much. He is level 3. I think maybe level 2 might be a better, at least for this level. So, you probably get away with not leveling him up at all for at least all of Chapter 1. But then I think for Chapter 2, you're probably going to want to get, see, I have to dodge. I can't just tap one button. I actually have to play the game. I think in Chapter 2, maybe you might want to stop at level 2, or maybe you might want to stop at level 3. I'm not exactly sure. Again, it's a fucking chore just to get through the story. It's not easy to get through the story. They go out of their fucking way to make it a goddamn fucking job just to get through the story. So to actually try and get the data to make a guide video on this sounds like a fucking nightmare, and I'm not even sure I could be bothered to do that, to be honest. So this is just going to be like the intro. Maybe I will. If there's a bunch of people in the comments that say they want that, maybe I'll do it. But if no one even wants this shit, then I'm not going to fucking do this, because, it's dumb. So, yeah. But, yep, there's definitely a way that you can make this game hard. I mean, again, that wasn't very difficult just because I over-leveled my Billy. Leveled him up to 3. I should have kept him at level 1. So, but as I go throughout the game, probably on like maybe Chapter 3 or 4, this Billy will start to struggle. Maybe it's Chapter 3. Oh, that was it? That was the whole mission? Oh, really? Okay. There was a section that lasted much longer. Is it this one? Maybe the story, they don't let you replay all the gameplay. They only let you play. Oh, yeah, I can't skip this cutscene for some reason. For some reason, I can't skip this cutscene even though it's in the archive mode. I can't skip it. I can't skip it even though I've already seen it and it's in the archive mode. I can't skip it, though. Can't skip it. I don't know why, but I can't skip it. So, yeah, I'm just going to have to sit through this. I'm going to keep talking over it, so you can't hear anything. Just close your eyes if you don't want to get spoiled. Blah, 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 blah. I wish I could skip this. You really should be able to skip this. It would be cool if you could skip this. It would be cool if you could skip this the way you can skip in Wuthering Wave, where you just hold the screen like it's a mobile game and not in the left-hand corner. Okay, cool, I got through it. Okay. So, let's get through it now. Okay, now we can play the actual fucking game. I don't know if I had just Billy selected. Do we get to play the actual game, or are we just going to skip the gameplay part in the story? Oh, you just skip the gameplay part. Oh, that makes sense. So you actually can't replay the gameplay part of the story. You can only replay probably the TV mode stuff and the actual story. Oh, that's great. I didn't know that. That's great. That's wonderful. That's just fantastic. Because if you were able to get gameplay reliably in one place, that would just be horrible. So, I don't know, maybe I just get through the story shit first. Hopefully just get to fucking gameplay, because you have to go your fucking way just to have gameplay in this game for some fucking reason. You have to do all this stupid shit. So yeah, let me go fucking do therapy or whatever to some diabetic cat who wants to continue to eat stamps, but his doctor told him that he needs to lose weight or something. He's like having mental problems. I need to go do therapy for that guy. Then I need to go to the coffee shop and basically clock in for my coffee shift job. Oh, no. I need to go to the arcade and talk to some bitch for like a whole hour about the fact that there's an arcade in this game. Cool. Yeah, I gotta do that. Yep. This is part of the difficulty in the game, is getting through this fucking dog shit, so you can actually get to the game that they didn't balance and is also dog shit. But then if you do my strategy of just play one character and never level up them up, then you might be able to actually have a challenging game. Okay, now I gotta sit through this, I gotta sit through this, I gotta sit through this. Okay, I'm done with that. Okay, now I gotta skip. Why not? I don't fucking care. Go kill yourself. I don't fucking care. Just get me out of this dog shit. Get me out. Okay, I'm done. Okay, can I go play the actual fucking video game? Can I actually go play the fucking game? No, I gotta go talk to these bang bros, okay? Okay, they gotta dance. I can't skip the cutscene. Cool. Alright, I got it. Is the store open ready? I don't fucking care. Can I get out of here? Okay, I'm out of here. Alright, now, no, I gotta have more stuff on my screen. You know, it's a mobile game, right? It's a mobile game. Everyone knows that mobile games are just for, like, fucking drooling, lobotomized camels that just sit on their ass all day and huff, I don't know, Cheetos or something. It's like, that's what mobile games are for. They're not for people that want an actual video game that they can play. They're for people that want to pet cats, talk to fucking robots with coffee cups for heads, and help the obese cat get out of his depression. So that's what this game's about. Sometimes you get to actually play some fucking gameplay, but then you got bullshit like this where it's like, I need to take a picture of a fucking cat. Why? Because I need to. Because it's in the fucking game, so I gotta do it, obviously. And it's not side activity, it's not side content that I can do at any time I want. It's content that I fucking always have to do in this part of the story. It's something I will always have to fucking do if I make a new account. I will always have to take a picture of that cat. That is a requirement to progress in this game, is taking a fucking picture of a cat. So, I didn't see that in the advertisements, to be honest. I didn't see Wise, like, sprinting through with a camera in his hand, right? Like, running, you know, like walking around in the sandbox, right? I didn't see Wise carrying a camera around, like, and he's like, and like some NPCs are like, that's Wise, he's the photographer or whatever. He's the best cat picture taker in all of the land, right? Wait, I didn't see any advertisements for that shit. I didn't see any advertisements for Hetty and Bang Bro 18 talking about politics. I didn't see any of that shit in the advertisements. I didn't see any of that. In the advertisements. I didn't see any of this shit in the advertisements. Opening my store for fucking who? For fucking who? Who comes into my store? Who the fuck would come into this place? They want to get stared at by like 10 different little robot bunny rabbits? Like, what the fuck? Who wants to come here? I'm gonna open it up? Yeah, sure. Can I get to the actual fucking gameplay now? Can I get to the fucking gameplay? Can I please get to the fucking gameplay? How fucking long is this gonna take? How long is this gonna take? How long? I don't fucking know. I don't know. This is how you get through the story. It's literally a fucking job that you have to work. You have to talk to some bitch here. Then you gotta talk to this guy. Then you gotta do blah, blah, blah. Then I gotta go outside and go to Billy and go do his tax return or whatever. It's like, what the fuck? Let me play the fucking game. Why can't I play the fucking game? In Wuthering Waves, they have all this bullshit. And maybe, like, every now and then you need to do it, like, once or twice in a mission. I mean, I don't even think... Maybe, like, one minigame in the story, and that's it. Like, it's all fucking optional. Because if you don't want to do the minigame stuff, you don't have to do the minigame stuff. But this game's like, well, you know, technically the gameplay is not optional, but it might as well be. And then the minigame stuff is not optional. It's all required. It's like, what? That's not the game you advertise. So, I mean, I almost feel like you could sue MiHoYo at this point for false advertising, because they're not advertising the game that they're showing on YouTube. That's what they're advertising on YouTube is not the fucking game that you actually get to fucking play. So I feel like it could even be a lawsuit territory because it's fucking false advertising. It's fucking ridiculous that this is the game is going to bed on the couch, talking to the diabetes cat, answering my fucking text messages. Like, what is this? Like a sim game? This is like a sim game. This isn't a fucking combat game. This is not a fucking combat game. This is a sim game. It's a sim game with occasional fucking combat. Like every like maybe 2%, 5% of the game is combat, and then the other 95% isn't, and then they market it as a combat game. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, MiHoYo? I'm pretty sure, like, maybe that's not legally false advertising, but ethically that's false advertising, I would say. Ethically, that's definitely false advertising. You're like, we're going to sell everyone this idea, and then we're not going to actually give them that. We're going to try and make them think it's in the game. And then that way people like Tectone will basically be our Wickerman and take all the hate away from us, because they'll be like, you know, a bunch of people hate Tectone for plenty of reasons or whatever. If you're in the Genshin community, the MiHoYo community, because I'm pretty sure they basically told everyone in the MiHoYo community to hate him because he was criticizing the game. So then people hate him for that, but then on the other hand, people who would normally be on his side are now against him because he's defending MiHoYo. So he's kind of put himself in a bad situation in that way, I'd say. And because of that now, he's like, yeah, this game design's fine because, you know, there might be good gameplay at the end of it. So as you see, my team's all level 1, which means that they're over-leveled for this. But, I mean, actually, Billy's over-leveled, Nicole and Anby aren't. So again, it sucks that you can't undeploy characters in this game. Once you have a character in the deploy slot, it won't let you get rid of them. So the only way for me to lower the difficulty in this is first I need to get through the real game, which is a TV mode. But then once I get through the actual game, and then I can go play the mini game, what I need to do is then I need to kill Nicole and Anby, let them die. It does say that they're too low level for this, so that means it might only take like 5 hits to kill each one instead of like 10. So that's nice. But at the end of the day, yeah, if I want to unlock the hard difficulty, I'll also have to go, like, again, I have to pass the sanity check for this content. So again, there's a lot of different people that say this game isn't hard. They're lying to you, because this game's actually really hard. I'd say it's harder than Wuthering Waves, to be honest, personally, because at least with Wuthering Waves, I didn't want to fucking punch my phone monitor every like 10 seconds when I was going through that game story. I was just like, yeah, you know, the story at times isn't the best. I thought Gion was a bad character or whatever, but, you know, it is what it is. But in this game, you know, look, what am I fucking doing? What the fuck am I even doing now? I don't even, yeah, so, this game's way harder than Wuthering Waves. It's way harder. People want to tell you that this game, Wuthering Waves, is the harder game. They're fucking lying to you. This is the harder game, because in Wuthering Waves, you don't need to, have like a de-stressor machine next to you when you're doing the story in that game. Because if you don't want to do the story, you can just skip in Wuthering. You can listen to it if you want. And then when they make you actually do the game for the gameplay, it's the actual gameplay that you signed up for. But in this game, they're so like smart or whatever that they decided, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this the gameplay. We're gonna balance the game around this, because I actually have to like think about what I'm doing right now, because I can't just turn my brain off, because they balanced the game around turn your brain off, because they knew that was a mechanic people were going to exploit, so they balanced the game around it. So that way you can't turn your brain off, because it's kind of overpowered to just turn your brain off and get through this content. So they wanted to make sure they put in a, you know, design metric to combat that. And it makes sense. It makes sense why they did that. It makes sense why they did that. Because otherwise, people would have been able to just get to the end game and start playing the end game and judging the end game. And clearly, MiHoYo's strategy, I think, is we don't want you to get to the end game because we don't want you to find out that the end game is kind of mediocre. Because all our development time went into this fucking mode. All our development, because like, see, I want to show you guys the actual fucking combat, and I have to get through this fucking dog shit first. I have to get through this dog shit first, just to get to one piece of combat, because I can't do the combat in the archive mode for some fucking reason. So this account doesn't even have access to any replayable fucking content, so I have to go through the fucking story, but the story is so fucking, like, designed by, like, fucking Sagoth or Cthulhu or something. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck designed this goddamn shit? Who the fuck thought this was a good idea? What the fuck? This is bullshit. This is a dog shit fucking mode. Like, what the fuck? Like, who thought this, like, why? Okay, now that I got through the actual challenging gameplay, let me get back to the gameplay that's not challenging, but I figured out to make challenging because the developers were too fucking couldn't be bothered to actually fucking balance their game. Maybe this is the beta test. You know, they did release this like early because I think originally. So yeah, I gotta let my characters die. So I think like originally this game was gonna come out like maybe like a month later. And then they released it early because of Wuthering Waves. So maybe that's why it's still in beta. They wanted to release the game in beta, early access. But because they had to release it even another month early, they didn't get the balancing right for the beta. Because they wanted, they wanted the hardcore players to come in and they wanted the hardcore players to pick their difficulty. And then once enough hardcore players pick that difficulty, then they'll know how to balance the game. Because they could have just hired people to QA test their game, play test their game. They could have done that, but at the end of the day, that costs money. It's much better for them to have people who are basically streamers or people like me just do all the play testing for them. And then on top of it, those people might even spend money on the gacha system. So they're going to be making money off of people who are basically doing work for them that they should have done themselves. So it's a win-win strategy. I get why they're doing it. They also didn't add in the mobile UI customization because they're like, well, we don't need to do that because we're MiHoYo and people are just going to play our game, obviously. So that's what Kuro has to do because they're losers. They're people who actually think that you have to make a fun video game to make money, and that's not how you make a video game. The way you make a video game is you psychologically manipulate your player base into accepting dog shit as if it were just okay. And then that way, when they get something mediocre, they're like, oh my god, that's amazing. That's like the best thing fucking ever. That's what you do as a game. So that's why they're not going to have probably ever remove the TV mode or ever make it fun or whatever, because people are like, well, it's what it is, but it's MiHoYo, so yeah, so they're probably not ever going to fix it. The game balancing for this will probably never get implemented unless enough people ask for it, or enough streamers or YouTubers or whatever are like, okay, MiHoYo, this is what you need to do. These are the damage numbers that you need to do, and all that. And then it's just easy for MiHoYo. They just click a couple buttons, and that's all they gotta do. Because they don't actually want to do the fucking work. They didn't want to play test this. They didn't want to do any of that. They were just like, okay, it's all about the TV mode. That's the mode. That's the flagship mode of our game. The players don't like it for some reason. Well, those are just the people on the CBT. Mobile players will love it because mobile players don't actually want games that are challenging and fun. They just want Candy Crush and, games like that. So we'll just make it, and then, some PC players will play it because they're brand loyalty MiHoYo followers who have to play everything every MiHoYo game that comes out. And then the mobile players who are just babies that will just like click buttons on their phone or iPad or whatever will love the game. Well, guess what, MiHoYo? There actually are mobile games now. This isn't 10 years ago. This isn't back when mobile games are just fucking Candy Crush, just games you play on the fucking toilet. There's actually games now. There actually are really good games now on mobile. So you have to compete with them. And I have a video showing, in my opinion, the 3 best ones I know of. But really, I just say Wuthering Waves and Snowbreak are way fucking better games than this game. And I don't need to wait for this game to be out for a whole year. I mean, if that's your argument, hey, in a year this game might be really good. It's like, okay, then I'll wait a year and come back in a year. I'm not gonna fucking. This is the game that came out. This is what's on release. If this is dog shit, it's dog shit. It doesn't matter if it might not be dog shit in the future. Right now, it is dog shit.